Yakaya yuxatinil takat yuhan. Yisikóo shwasak ausaku. Ya ashukach away we kachlich ech we record uti. Hechosaku asadosak. Kashtu datli at Achuk yuchatangiwan qanin sutushayich. Atray hatu wasagu. Achuk. Atwutushuk ayawuchin. Wan qanin's kach yet ich ayahayechini yahayuchatangita. Achuk anak seti yahajayis. Aqawutusaku. Wushchunich dachtushayich we achuktin. Jatulla an kakasakhanti nachtuasagu kagachtu ak. Tutle aya at tushuku. Aqa awe Keik agursagu klingich to diltu gawu. Gulchish Yuhan, gulchish. So if you only knew what happens before we hit the record button, because we like to laugh sometimes and share, like for me there's a bonding element to laughing together. I think it's important. I've been told it's medicine. As long as we're not laughing at people, so we're laughing with kindness and love and just sort of sharing funny events and funny stories. I think it's important because sometimes this work does get really difficult, and so you have to use laughter sometimes as a distraction, but also as an acknowledgement that we're doing this incredible thing, which I always come back to think about, because so many concerted attempts to just completely destroy our language, and then here we are, like continuing to produce speakers and use the language and find out we'll always keep finding stuff we don't know how to say. In about a month, I'll share a document on weights and measurements and stuff that Kuch, one of my colleagues and friends, longtime friend who lives in Kakwan, he's got these cards that were created by Shtuwukha Louis Shotridge, like probably 100 years ago. And it's incredible. He was so good at writing Lingít once you figure out how he writes it. But the depth of the language amazes me all the time. Because we're talking about heavy, light, thick, thin, shallow, deep. It goes, and it's just diameter, and it's wild. It's stuff I had no idea really how to say. And it's really interesting how this stuff lines up sometimes, because we're doing work. I do work with the language nests, but usually they ask me questions and I work, because they've got it pretty closed because of COVID. But they were asking about, like, this is heavier than that, and this is, and I realized, well, I don't think we've ever said that before as a language community. And so we had to sort of do some digging and do some predicting and because whenever Tlingit loves these categories. It just loves, it's like, okay, heavy things that are living, or heavy things that are non-living. Big things that are living, big things that are not living, or tall things, right? And so it's really interesting to me how this stuff usually works. And sometimes it's hard to predict, but it's also fun because there's this whole group of people who've been